This is the best betting show ever. I'm Lawrence Presman, Joe Raineri, and Art DiCesare joining us. We got a jam-packed show of betting information coming your way. We're going to attack how to bet all the 2-0 teams in the NFL. Is Cincinnati a fade? Should we bet on them? Same with, say, the Green Bay Packers. We're going to go through that in great detail. We're also going to give you one NFL best bet from me and Joe, one college football best bet from me and Joe. Art will give you a rundown on where all the bets are at the Westgate Sportsbook. We'll cover every MLB game on the board, and we'll go through the mailbag. Guys, let's get to it. Joe Raineri, welcome to the show. Good thing you're not wearing a V-neck. Art DiCesare, how many of those shirts do you actually own?
I'm like Superman. I wear the same outfit every day.
Oh. Yeah, there you go. Art DiCesare. How's the Westgate, brother? What's going on over there?
It's good, man. We got a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, a lot of games to touch on. Let's start on some college games. Huge game in the Big 12. This is an underrated game. You got Texas Tech at Utah. We opened it 2.5. Utah quickly moved to 3 with the market on the game. Didn't get hit on the 2.5, but we did get hit on the 3. Moved us to 3.5. Then there was buy on Texas Tech at 3.5. Settled the game back to 3. Believe this is where it's going to stay. This is going to see tremendous two-way action. Very big game, underrated game. Southern Miss coming off a nice win last week at App State. They go to Louisiana Tech, a.k.a. La Tech, and we open La Tech minus 1.5. Got all the way up to 3.5. There was a little bit of nibble on 3.5 with Southern Miss. We're now back to 3, but because of all the initial Louisiana Tech money, we will need Southern Miss in the game. And then you got UL Monroe traveling to UTEP. UTEP looked great last week against Texas. They hung in the game. They lost the game, but covered the enormous number. And now with them at home, now people are buying in on the Miners. Open that game at 4.5. We're now up to 6 on the game. We will need Monroe in that game.
I got to tell you, Art, it's funny. Some of these, little smaller conference games and lines here, it's not a ton of public money, right? That's moving these lines. It's, the public tends to go, oh, Miami's playing Florida. Are they going UTEP playing UL Monroe?
No, you're right, Joe. When it's the lower tier games and the lower tier schools, it's always initial sharp money that moves a number. Now, I'm not saying the public later on in the week can't get on these games, but when they do, they normally get it at the worst number. Like if they were to come in and bet UTEP right now, they would take it at 6, lay the 6 where they could have laid 4.5 early in the week. Obviously, those are the sharp guys doing that Sunday night and Monday morning. You're right. It's the marquee games that are always going to get the appetite from the public.
Art DiCesare joining us. Guys, Art works at the Westgate, one of the most prestigious sports books on the planet. They take some of the biggest bets in the world. Art comes on every day to tell us what some of those bets are. And Art, I got a question for you that's more conceptual before we get into the NFL stuff. So we have a situation here where 81%, this is according to Odds Logic, an incredible odds screen, 81% of the money being written on the Miami-Buffalo game is to the over. 91% to the over on the Indianapolis-Tennessee game, 92%, 91% on the LA Chargers. Now, the reason I ask you this is none of those lines have moved. So we have 92% of the tickets, 91 now percent of the tickets written on the LA Chargers. It's held at 2.5. I know there's a minus 120, 125 out there, but can you explain to me, because we saw this on Monday night and on Sunday night, so much money is coming in on one particular side, yet the line isn't moving. Could you explain why that happens and how bettors can use that to their advantage?
Well, I think when it comes to that, Prez, a lot of the times you could take, let's say you just take 10 $100 bets from just square general public people. And yeah, those might be the first 10 bets you take to a side, but you don't necessarily need to make a move off of that. Sometimes we move what we call quote unquote on air. We move with the market and just don't want to be the lowest number or the highest number. And we do that. But you could even be in a situation like that, but then you take a nickel or a dime bet on the other side from a guy you really respect and you move the other way. So a lot of the times we're looking for what the market's doing, and then we're really waiting for those respected bettors to come in, make bets. So a lot of the times we can book to their sides. That happens for us a lot, and that's something we look for.
Right. So let's talk about that from a betting perspective, how we can use that to make money. So you have a situation here, Miami Buffalo, 81% of the tickets written to the over as we're talking. It was 50 last night. It's now 49 and a half. So very interesting that so many tickets are written on the over and yet the line moved to the under. Are we not supposed to recognize that the savviest, that the books are saying, hey, you guys want to bet the over? Bet it all day long. We're not worried. We got respected guys over there that are betting the under and they know their shit and you don't. Should we not be looking for those type of situations? So, for instance, there's clearly smart money coming in on the Buffalo under, clearly.
Yeah, and I think this is something we've always touched on, right, Prez? Like, the public and the square bettors are always going to bet overs. They want to bet overs. They want to bet primetime overs. And then the guy, the respected sharp guys, they kind of lay in the weeds, wait for a number to maybe go up a half a point or a point, and then they pounce right on the under. So I think a lot of the times with those 80% of the money's on this, 95% of the tickets are on that, it can be useful, but it's almost beware of that because you don't know what type of action they are taking, if it's square action, if it's sharp action. I think you got to be be aware of that stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Joe, do you take any of that stuff into account?
It depends on what day during the week, too, Art, right? When are the limits the highest? When are we going to see the most money? Sometimes it's not as easy, especially with the NFL, to figure out. It doesn't take a lot to move the line earlier in the week, so it's kind of hard to figure out where that money is necessarily coming from. So it kind of evens itself out once we get to when do the limits go up at the Westgate, Art?
Yeah, and that's a great point, Joe. Early in the week, your limits are going to be a little bit lower. And then basically, once we get to Thursday, we start to expand limits. And then obviously, Sunday, we're at our full capacity on limits. But I know, Joe, you've mentioned this before, the pump fake. There's a lot of pump fakes early in the week. You see a total go up, especially in college. You see a total go up 2 points. And that's on Monday morning. And then you look Thursday morning, and it's back down to the original line or maybe even lower. So there's a lot of times you got to look for that. And listen, guys look for middles. There's plenty of people trying to play middles too. So you always got to remember that.
Yeah, and I thought we were going to see a pump fake in the over in the Detroit game, and it's clearly not the case. It's gone up to 52, a 52 and a half out there. That 51 and a half is such a crucial number in totals. I thought you were going to maybe take some fakey under, if you will, get it down to 51, 50 and a half and pound. But that did not happen. Art, Steelers, Pats, Cowboys, Bears, Colts, and Titans. Where's the money?
Very interesting game. Steelers at New England. That look-ahead line was New England -1.5. Now we're Pittsburgh -1.5. So you've seen a flip there on kind of the way the teams are power rated. I understand New England's 1-1, but they haven't looked that great. They really struggled last week against Miami, even though they always play bad in Miami. They still got the win. I get that, but that's been a complete flip. We touched on this game yesterday. The look-ahead line on this game was Chicago 3. It reopened Chicago 1, and now it's Dallas -1. So that's all you need to know about the power rating early on for the Bears in the first 2 weeks. You've probably missed because you could have taken +105, even money line on Dallas. You've probably missed that, but I think eventually we will get some Bear money, just haven't seen it yet. And Colts, a surprising 2-0 team. They go on the road in the division, their first road game, to Tennessee. That opened 3. It's now 4. We've seen Colt money, so that is now a 4, which to me is shocking. I think it's a good spot for Tennessee. I think we will get Tennessee money, just have not seen it yet.
So we've heard, Art, the stats, and history tells us in the NFL, right? Teams that start 0-2, if you think in any way, shape, or form that, I didn't see them starting 0-2, those tend to be the teams you want to run to the window and bet because they understand their season's over in all likelihood if they go 0-3, right? Are we seeing any sort of push to back some of those 0-2 teams that maybe we all didn't see them starting 0-2?
Well, we know the biggest one is going to be Kansas City. That's the team that, especially too, you got to keep this in mind. The Chiefs being the Sunday night game, everything is going to run into Kansas City Sunday night. Teasers and parlays on the money line, and even when people like to do teaser cards and parlay cards, and the number's 5.5 on those cards, especially the side parlay cards, everything's going to run to the Chiefs Sunday night. That's the biggest 0-2 team that we'll be hoping loses on Sunday because of all the stuff we'll be fighting against with parlays and teasers.
Art DiCesare joining us. Guys, if you've never watched the show, we got the parlay of the day next. Then we're going to discuss whether to fade or bet the 2-0 teams. After that, Art leaves us and Joe and I go on the clock, 2-minute segments each. NFL best bets, college football best bets, every game on the MLB board, and our mailbag segment. Also, guys, hit that like button, please. Subscribe to our channel. The word of the day is, Art, what's the word of the day?
The word of the day, patience.
Oh,
Patience. Yes. Patience.
Little Guns N' Roses, patience.
How does that ending go?
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
so
phenomenal.
good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes.
Don't do that, Prez. Joe.
Don't do it.
Joe. Yes. Joe, I like the purple, Joe. It really
Thank you.
brings
Thank
out
you, Prez.
really brings out the tan in you.
No, and I really want you to know the way you comment on my attire each and every day. It really warms me
Yes.
to know that you care like that. It really does.
Well, you are a single man now, Joe, so somebody's got to help you. How much gel do you actually put in that hair?
Oh, it's not gel, Press.
Does it ever move?
No.
In a wind tunnel? What about in a wind tunnel?
I don't know. Do those earmuffs you're wearing move a lot when you
We
turn
tried
your head?
that one yesterday. We tried that one
But I
yesterday.
mean, I'm just kind of curious.
But
here.
I will say this: you
You
got a lot
switched
of
trucker hats? Is that what happened?
You got a lot of props on the trucker hat comeback yesterday.
Yeah.
When I say a lot, one guy gave you props. Parlay of the day. Every day we give out a parlay of the day. Yesterday did not win. We're going to win today, though. I'm starting Kansas City Royals first half money line bet. What's your leg, Joe Raineri?
Oh, wow. All right. Cole Reagan's your back. And I like that there, Prez. I am going to go first 5 Boston Red Sox here with Giolito on the mound, taking on the rookie for the Athletics. Red Sox need to win this game here tonight. How about you, Art?
Yeah, I'm going to go to a team that also needs to win, and I'm going to back their good pitcher, looking to avoid a sweep. And I'll just keep with the theme if we're all going to go first 5. I'm going to take DeGrom, and I'm going to take the Rangers first 5.
Ooh, I like that one, too.
There we go. That's our parlay of the day. Boys, let's get straight into to fade or not to fade. And we're going to start with the Cincinnati Bengals. And we can talk conceptually and this week. So from this week's perspective, this is a fade team for me. From the entire year's perspective, this is a fade team for me. Now, things might change, obviously, but moving forward, I think Cincinnati's going to struggle in Minnesota this week and just struggle for the foreseeable future. Joe?
You're talking about Cincinnati now, right? Correct?
Yeah,
the
Bengals.
Yeah, no.
The Bengals. 2-0 on the year.
Yeah, 2-0 on the year here. And I got to tell you, I think because of the Burrow news, I think week to week, we're going to have plenty of value backing this. This is not a inexperienced backup quarterback here. This is a guy that's been in the system now for a while, Browning. And I mean, who's got more offensive weapons as a backup quarterback to utilize than he does? I just think there's going to be a lot of value on a week to week basis with Cincinnati. So I'm not looking to fade him yet, Art.
Yeah, Art, before you jump in, I just want to correct Joe. The answer to who has more weapons as a backup quarterback is the guy on the other side of the field. That would be Carson Wentz. Art DiCesare, Cincinnati, fade or not?
That's bold with Higgins and Chase and Brown. That's pretty good weapons.
As opposed to Justin Jefferson and their tight
and what
end
running back? Aaron Jones just
why
went on
not?
the
You
IL.
named
Okay. Okay.
Chase is
Whatever.
as good as Jefferson. Come on.
I agree.
Exactly. He probably is better. I'm with Joe here. I think this is a wait and see approach because I don't think Browning if you just look at backups in the league, he's probably towards the top of what you'd want for a backup. So might want to wait week to week on this. Obviously, long term, and them winning anything, losing Burrow kills them. But Browning could be serviceable.
Yep.
Well, we only care about bets, not the future of any of these teams. Indianapolis Colts. Joe, I know you think they're a team this week. I'm going to go with the wait and see approach. I mean, look, Daniel Jones had a good 2022. He started off great. I'm going to go with wait and see, Joe.
Listen, I am not buying into Danny Dimes. And Steichen's done an amazing job.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. But no, they should have gotten destroyed last week against Denver. Had they actually not shot themselves in the foot, we'd be having a totally different conversation about them. I mean, kudos, love to see it, but I'm not buying that at last, Art. They're a fade for me moving forward.
They're definitely a fade. They should be 1-1, and they played Miami. So I don't know what to really make of them being 2-0.
That's
this
fair.
Week going on the road in the division. I really like Tennessee.
Yeah, they're going to take a lot of bets, Tennessee, for sure. Arizona Cardinals, a lot was expected out of this team coming into the season. People thought they could win the division, and look, here they are 2-0. But I got to tell you, Joe, they look horrible. I think I'm looking to bet against this team. With that said, I ain't touching San Fran. It's a pass for me Sunday, but I am looking to bet against the Cardinals.
The Cardinals, to me, it's a wait and see because I don't know what they are. They have sleptwalked through both of the games that they had with New Orleans,
yes,
and having to take on Carolina there. They were never in jeopardy of losing either of those games, but they just kind of went through the motions in the second half. So it's wait and see for me with this team.
Art.
I think it's definitely wait and see. They sleptwalked through those first two games, like you mentioned, two bad opponents as well. I don't know. I'm not a Kyler Murray guy, so I want to fade Kyler Murray if I can.
San Francisco 2-0. I don't know what to do. I'm just staying away from all San Fran games right now, Joe. But I have them to win the division for my clients at plus 150.
Listen, to me, as long as McCaffrey is healthy on that side of the ball, Mac Jones in that system, again, this is a system that took Mr. Irrelevant and just got him a $200 million contract, and he got hurt. Coaching matters. Shanahan's one of the best, and that's the easiest schedule in the NFL. Yes. There is no way I'm looking to fade the 49ers because I think until Purdy gets back, we're probably going to get some value on them on a week-to-week basis, Art.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And Prez, I was with you when we did our NFL preview. I had the Niners to win the division. I still like them. I don't want them to be so injured every week, but I think Mac Jones, a former first-round pick, showed some signs. Coaching is good. Some weapons, especially McCaffrey. I think they could be serviceable, and the schedule is easy. I think I buy in on the Niners.
Rams are 2-0 to start the season. So's Arizona. So's San Fran. That division is looking good. I'm not buying into this Rams team. I think this is a team I'm going to be looking to bet against moving forward. Now they play Philadelphia on Sunday. Revenge matchup situation for them. But I just don't think they have the talent. I think I like the fact that this team has jumped out to a 2-0 start. I'm going to fade them, Joe.
You're out of your mind. Yeah,
well,
they were, and Philadelphia was supposed to run them over in the playoffs last year, too. And boy, that didn't happen. Listen, this is one of the best young defenses in the NFL here. You got one of the more experienced and accomplished quarterbacks. The offensive line has been rebuilt this year. Weapons all over the place. This Rams team, to me, is an absolute bet on moving forward, mostly because of that defense, Art. That is a real defense here the Rams have.
They're definitely a bet on because they are a really good team and well coached. But we're going to learn a lot about them this week going to Philadelphia. You know, they played Houston. They played Tennessee. They won those games. We will learn a lot about them. But I think moving forward, I do like them as a buy-on team.
There we go. We have a little bit of a disagreement on the LA Rams. But yes, they are bloody well coached, Joe. I mean, McVay's incredible. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think this team is a wait and see. I struggle to bet on or against Tampa Bay and Baker. I just find them to be a little bit too inconsistent. So I'm not going anywhere near this team, Joe.
The division is right. They got the right quarterback. I think Todd Bowles is one of the more underrated coaches in the NFL. He's done nothing but win games there, go to playoffs. Health is an issue. They just lost their big guy in the defensive front there, their nose tackle. Not great here, but that wide receiving crew, I mean, they're going to be they're going to put up a lot of points this year. I think a lot of overs in Tampa games is what I'm looking at, Art.
Yeah, and that you throw Bucky Irving in there. Baker has kind of Baker's good again.
Yes.
Just have to say it. They do have obviously injuries on the offensive line, which scare you. But the division is easy enough where moving forward, that is a team who should go win that division. I like Tampa Bay.
The LA Chargers are 2-0, and I'll tell you right now, this is a bet on team for me. I think this is the most underrated team in the league. I think this team could win it all. Joe?
They're wait and see for me here. That defense that showed up against the Raiders was great. But am I buying they can do that on a consistent basis? Because we've never seen it with Jesse Minter here and the Chargers. So as long as they can protect Herbert and that defense shows up like they did, sure. But I got to see it to believe it, Art.
Yeah, and that was probably more about the Raiders because Geno and that offense did not look good. But, Prez, you mentioned something very interesting. They are probably the team who has seen the most money on to win the Super Bowl. It feels like if you like them, you better bet them now because their number is just going to continue to plummet, especially with how bad the Chiefs have been.
Yeah.
And Denver hasn't gotten off to a great start, so it looks like they might run away with that division.
Well, I did give them out yesterday in our Kelce segment to win the West at plus 101, and I love that bet. Green Bay Packers. This is one of the best teams in football, but I'm going to look to fade them this week. This is one of those scenarios. I was talking to Vivian, my wife, last night because she wants to take Green Bay in Survivor. And I'm like, this is one of those situations where Green Bay ends the year 15-2, but they got slaughtered in Cleveland on week 3. Now, obviously, I don't think that's going to happen, but it feels like it could to me. I'm worried about this week. Moving forward, Green Bay's a bet on team for me, Joe.
Green Bay is the best team right now in the NFL, bar none. You saw it in 2 weeks. They look like they're playing football in October as opposed to early in the year. And why is that? Matt LaFleur, here's a couple of numbers for you. 17-6 against the number in September, 8-1 against the number in road games in September. This is a guy that coached, that has his teams ready from the get-go. And to me, there is more speed on this team offensively and defensively. In September, they look like they're running past guys, like they're just not used to seeing what they're seeing. I think they're bet on in a big way here, Art.
Joe, I think you hit it. I think after 2 weeks, they look like the best team in the NFL. But what's going to happen with them, and you're even seeing it this week with that inflated road line, you're going to start paying a premium and a tax on Green Bay. Their numbers are going to be a point and a half higher than what they should be. So I think week in and week out, you kind of have to pick your spots with them because you're going to really start seeing them being priced as the best team in the league.
Speaking about the best team in the league, potentially the Bills 2-0. This is a bet on team for me all the way through. Joe?
Oh, not this week. I mean, wait until please. They are, again, they're not even healthy right now. That defense has still got some issues. So it's going to be interesting to see once they can get their full complement back there in that secondary. But they're doing it differently this year. They're a power running team. They are running through defenses here. 2 defenses, by the way, that we thought would, be pretty good against the run. And they're making them look silly here. This is an interesting Bills team that, much like Green Bay, Art, though, you're going to be paying the tax a lot this year.
You certainly are, and you hit on them running. That was their week. They haven't been able to run the ball in the Josh Allen era unless it's him running. So I think moving forward, them playing January football with a power running game is good to look at. But you're right. These top teams always going to pay a tax on. But obviously Buffalo, one of the 2 best teams in the league.
What I love about the Eagles sitting at 2-0 is that running games travel and running games don't go into these like emotionally bad spot situations. I think the Eagles are the best team in football. I think their defense is insane. I think that it is almost impossible to stop them. I am looking to bet on them. I am very high. If the Eagles were a drug, I'd be smoking them right now, Joe.
I wouldn't advise to that. Eagles are a fade for me. They're fortunate to have to started the year 2-0. They have not looked good. That Super Bowl hangover is a real thing to me. Art, I'm not buying them here. I think the schedule going to get a little more difficult once we start getting to end of October and November. I don't see them running the table or anything along those lines. I think they lose this week, in fact.
Yeah, I'm more of a wait and see, but probably more towards a fade on the Eagles. They've looked lackluster in these first 2 weeks. I would not want to lay 3.5, 4 this week.
Yes, lackluster. Going to case. Anyway, we'll move on. Art DiCesare, that was awesome, bro. I'm not even going to respond. And I'm not even an Eagles fan.
Yeah,
I'm not
Travis
even an Eagles
Kelce
fan.
should have been wearing an Eagles jersey. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Travis Kelce should call it a career. Art DiCesare, thanks, my brother. Love doing this with you. We'll see you tomorrow. Awesome segment. We got lots more to come on the best betting show ever. Joe, we got our NFL best bets, our college football best bets, our MLB rundown, and our mailbag. Let's get into our NFL best bets. Cue that clock. Joe, wait. Before we put the clock on and get into our NFL bets, let's take care of some business. Guys, if you have never purchased a play over at WagerTalk, I've got an incredible offer for you guys. Listen, we're handicappers. We sell our bets for a living. That's what we do. I understand that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, that industry had negative connotations. It doesn't today. We work hard. We show our records. We show our plays. This is what we do for a living, and we do it well. I'm up units this NFL season, and I have a 5% play on Sunday. If you guys have never purchased a play at WagerTalk, you can get my 5% play for only $1. This is the highest rated play I have. I've only had one of them this football season, and I'm 1-0. So for only $1, you can get my 5% play. Use the promo code NEWPREZ. So head over to WagerTalk.com, grab my 5% play, use the promo code NEWPREZ, and it is literally $1. See how we roll, guys. Joe, cue that clock, baby.
Oh, okay, you ready now? Now you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Yeah,
ready? All right. Now you go. All right. Go.
Oh, Joe's a little bit ornery today, everyone. My apologies. It must be because he's wearing a crew neck. Long story short, NFL best bet. Minnesota Vikings -3 against the Cincinnati Bengals. And here's the bottom line. I get it. Browning, decent backup quarterback. I understand. One thing about Kevin O'Connell, he doesn't have backup quarterbacks. He literally takes quarterbacks and makes them stars. Now, I understand the J.J. McCarthy situation has not happened yet. The guy's had 2 games. But, man, this dude is the quarterback whisperer. I think we got a much better defense in Minnesota. They're at home. I think they have a better quarterback. I think they have a better coach. I'm going to take the points here, Joe. I think Minnesota wins. I think this is going to be a tight game. Don't get me wrong. But I think they might have upgraded their quarterback, and I love their defense. Give me the Vikings -3. What do you got?
Oh, all right. I'm going to head to Jacksonville, where one of those 0-2 teams, Prez, needs to figure it out in a big way. And that is the Houston Texans here getting 1.5 points. And listen, Jacksonville is awful. And they are, how in the world Browning throws 3 interceptions and you still lose the game is hysterical. But this is a very desperate Texans team with a better defense. They're getting that 1.5 points. Not only do I like Houston to win outright, I love them in teasers this week, Prez. I'll be using the Houston Texans and getting up and over a touchdown against a Jacksonville team whose wide receivers can't hold on to the ball, and the defense is yet to stand up and make a big play when they need it. So the Texans, just desperate enough for me to jump on them here this week.
Joe, let's get to the college football best bets real quick on my part. One of our listeners yesterday asked us how we find games for teasers. We're going to be discussing that in the mailbag section. Joe, my college football best bet is Indiana -4 against Illinois, and I get it, man. This Illinois team, it's a really good football team. They're 3-0. They're experienced. They have a great road win under their belt. I understand. But none of that matters going into this week. They're going to run into an absolute buzzsaw. This Indiana team might be the most dominant team in the country that nobody is talking about. Well, I am. You want numbers? They have the number one offense in the nation, the number one rushing attack in the country, and their quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. This team is stacked. It's loaded. I understand Illinois is 3-0. They're 3-1 on Sunday. Take Indiana and take a minus the points, Joe.
Love it. Mendoza, former Cal quarterback, if I'm not mistaken there. Prez, I am going to head to Miami of Ohio, as they are going to be home taking on UNLV. And listen, Miami of Ohio returned just 5 starters from that team a year ago. And also the offense, they haven't returned to start. There is nobody returning on that side of the ball, and it shows here. They lost 17-0 to Wisconsin. They got blown out at Rutgers 45-17. DeQuan Finn there looked promising early on in his college career. Not so much now. He hasn't thrown a touchdown, but he does have 3 picks. I like UNLV here. They're averaging about 429 yards of offense. Dan Mullen, love him too as well. But I think Miami, Ohio, their first home game, not enough offense to back. I like the price with UNLV here this weekend.
Joe Raineri, MLB rundown, every game on the board, 2 minutes. Meditate, get ready, go.
All right. I just want to say thank you so very much last night there to Paul Skeens for having the worst start that I've seen in quite a while. Game still landed under. Amazing. Having said that, the Cubs early afternoon here today taking on those Pirates, looking for the sweep. Boyd versus Oviedo, and I think the Cubs get the sweep and look to clinch that spot in the postseason. The Reds taking on the Cardinals, also afternoon game here. How do you go from scoring 11 runs to no runs, Reds? Well, that's who you are. That means you're due for another 11-run game here. I'm backing the Reds with Singer on the mound here. The Orioles have dominated the White Sox. I think they've won 11 of their last 12. They haven't lost a game in Chicago since 2022. With Wells on the mound against Martin Perez, I think that winning streak continues. Also, the Giants and the Diamondbacks, Verlander on the mound. Yeah, he's going to need some oxygen in this one. I love the over, and I love the Diamondbacks. The Braves taking on the Nats. Waldrop versus, oh, good Lord. No, Lord is really his name. And maybe, just maybe, the Nats will have enough to be able to get this game in the W column. I like them. The Guardians and the Tigers. Don't look now. Guardians 5.5 games back of the Tigers. Who cares? Flaherty's on the mound. I'll be backing him. Also, the Athletics and the Red Sox. Got to get that Red Sox here with Giolito. I like him to get it done against the A's. And the Blue Jays and Rays. Gausman versus Seymour. Who? Seymour. I need to see more runs. I don't think we're going to get him in this game. It's an under for me. The Padres will bounce back against the Mets. The Brewers will run over the Angels, while the Yankees will get it done against the Twins. Mariners and the Royals looks like a good under there. The Rangers will bounce back against the Stros. The Rockies and Marlins have already scored runs. And the Dodgers bounce back against the Phillies.
Joe, I cannot wait till college basketball, every game on the board. That is going to be amazing to watch you do that in 2 minutes. Time for our mailbag section of the show. Tom Roper writes, can you explain how you choose teaser teams? Tom, the answer is really simple. I want to cross 3 and 7. Joe did that with the Texans. Plus 1.5, take it on a 6-pointer. That gets you to 7.5. You pass 3, you pass 7. Worst case, pass 7, pass 10. Next worst case, go down 7.5 to 1.5. Pass 7, pass 3 on the way down. Always look to pass the key numbers and never, ever, ever pass 0.
Correct.
Prez, quick question. Bankroll management. How do you do it? I'll tell you real quick. I bet around 2 to 3% of my bankroll on every play. About 90% of my plays are 2 to 3%. Joey also asks, how many bets do you do in a day? I don't know what a day is. Dates have no relevance to me in betting. What about you?
No, it's just whichever games I feel that we have the biggest edge and the best shot at winning is what I'll bet, and that's it. So, and if, by the way, if there are none, sometimes the best bet you can make is not making the bet if you don't feel confident enough or the edge just isn't there.
Well said. Tim writes, this Prez guy's wearing a trucker hat. How can you take advice from him? This hat cost me $100. Bite
Correct.
me. Love the fast and furious nature of this show. So do I. Thank you, Solutions. I think it's super fun. How did the Westgate do on Canelo Crawford? Joe said they did really, really well. And then we had Garrig called us a tedious presentation. That's an interesting word, Joe. Tedious presentation. That would suggest it's slow, methodical, boring. I don't understand the use of that adjective. Listen, I understand if you don't like the presentation, but I don't think that's the right adjectives. And V-necks are not passé, says Jack Luger.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate
And that's why Joe's wearing a crew neck today.
That's what was clean, Prez. Jesus.
Is that a true is that a true classic?
That is
What's
a classic.
brand?
Yes.
True classic?
This is a Travis Matthew, Prez. This is more than your hat. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Well, I suggest you buy True Classic. It's like $30 and it looks the same. Fun show, Joe. Make sure to put some Joe, you haven't gelled your hair in at least an hour. So head over to the bathroom and get that gel in.
Done.
Awesome. What a show. Thank you for watching, everyone. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to take advantage of that insane offer. My 5% play is $35. It's $1 to you. If you've never purchased from WagerTalk, use the promo code NEWPREZ. Joe, thanks for doing this. We'll see you tomorrow. Guys, let's all win together.
Tedious.